The genus Chicoryum asteraceae is made up of 6 species with major geographical presence in Europe and Asia. And you're looking at Chicoryum intybus, which is commonly known as chicory. It's well known as a coffee substitute, but it's also widely used medicinally to treat various ailments ranging from wounds to diabetes. Although this plant has a rich history of use in folklore, many of its constituents have not been explored for their pharmacological potential. Now, as I said, the genus Chicoryum consists of 6 species, with major distribution areas in Europe and Asia. It's a hardy plant that can endure extreme temperatures during both vegetative and reproductive growth stages. When broken, all plant parts exude a milky latex. Chicoryum intybus is cultivated for numerous applications and can be divided into 4 main varieties or culti groups. There's industrial or root chicory, which is cultivated in northwestern Europe, India, and South Africa, as well as Chile. It produces the taproot, which is used as a coffee substitute or for the production of inulin. There's also Witloof chicory, which is commonly cultivated in Europe as an industrial chicory for etiolated buds. This is for eating. And then they also force different chicories. It's common in many cuisines in Europe. It's used as fresh or cooked vegetable. And Chicoryum intybus is medicinally important in Eurasia and parts of Africa. Despite its long traditional use, the plant is not even described in the European Pharmacopoeia or any official European Union member state. However, due to its prevalent distribution, different parts of the plant have been used in traditional medicines globally. Important phytochemicals are distributed throughout the plant, but the main constituents are present in the root. Medicinally, these plants have been used for centuries, and numerous cultures still rely on indigenous medicinal plants like chicory to meet their primary healthcare needs. It's likely that the insightful knowledge of plant-based remedies in traditional cultures advanced through trial and error, and the most important cures are carefully passed from generation to generation. Historically, chicory was grown by the ancient Egyptians as a medicinal plant, and it had a long history of therapeutic use both in areas where it is indigenous and areas where it was introduced. The various common or local names describing this plant may be ascribed to the widespread use in different folkloric groups. Different preparations of this plant are used to treat various symptoms and ailments. The juice is said to be a folk remedy for cancer of the uterus and for tumors. In South Africa, although it is considered a widespread weed, leaves, stems, and roots are made into a tea for jaundice, and chicory syrup is used as a tonic and purifying medicine for infants. In Turkey, an ointment is made from the leaves for wound healing. Decoction refers to preparation that is made by adding cold water to the plant material, which is then boiled or allowed to simmer for 5 to 10 minutes, after which it is strained. And chicory decoctions are traditionally made from individual plant parts. The whole plant is edible, and let's get some closer looks here. And let me unzoom this for you. So this chicory is literally, here's my hand, 6 feet tall. And it is in full flower. Oh, darn it. And just get you a close-up of a flower there. This is not a wild variety. This is a cultivar. And you can buy some of these cultivars from Italian seed companies. But the entire plant is edible. The flowers are edible. The leaves are edible. And it is quite bitter, especially when it's flowering. And it's a little dry. But chicory is self-seeding and is a great addition to any perennial garden as a coffee substitute. Sorry about that. And I planted this about 3 years ago, and it just spreads around the yard into different areas. Here we can see a chicory coming up just in the grass here. And this is again a cultivar from Italy, which has a much different leaf than the native varieties, which are coming up now all over the US, especially on the edges of roads, driveways. It grows in the hardest hardpan. So when you give it good soil, it obviously flourishes. So I hope you learned a little bit more about the benefits and uses of chicory, specifically if you're a coffee drinker. In order to process the root, you just dig it up, grind it up, chop it up into pieces and roast it, and then grind it fine and use it just like coffee. I haven't tried it, but I will definitely this year, especially with this chicory crop right here. Subscribe, hit that thumbs up, be well. We love you. Chicory. Oh yeah.